How do you people see the signs of God and then pretend like you don't see the signs of God? How do you see another universe or another planetary system coming into our system, and you sit there and you pretend like another planetary system is not coming into our system? I'm gonna pose a challenge to the fearful who always come to the video saying this is not real. Here's what God have to say, Revelations 21:8. But the fearful shall have their share in the lake of fire. The fearful, when you come in here because you in sin, you gay, you carnal, you contentious, you malicious, you disrespectful, you murderous, you habitually carnal, and then you come here fearfully saying that this don't exist. Here's a challenge for you, fearful lake of fire inhabitants. Produce this. You do it. You show me this. And then you close up in on it with your cameras. These are the signs of God. And God turns away. He turned away the wrongdoers from his signs. Even if you saw the signs, just like you do, you come here and you deny them. You deny what you see. That's not on me. That's not on nobody in the world except for yourself. You are the one who have to burn in the lake of fire for eternity. You're the one who is not getting out of hell. It's something to think about. And as I said before, you produce these videos. Tell me something, fearful people. Is this a plot worldwide? Is this a bunch of idiots worldwide who want to scare the Jenkins out of you? So they put these videos together like this just to scare the Jenkins out of you? Or is it two freaking suns in the sky? And it's a sign. And what is that sign? That sign is the return of God. And you know what that sign is. God said he was bringing a new heaven and a new earth. A new heaven. These are different planets. Oh, that's what we call it. But what does God say? A new heaven and a new earth is going to be brought. And this earth is going to be destroyed. This earth is going to be no more. Look it up. For the people who don't believe, I ain't even say I feel sorry for you, because I don't. It's like, how dumb can you be? Your government believe in a God. Your government definitely believe in evil. You don't. They imposing all these statutes and everything else that is going to bring down, hell upon your heads. And you don't understand their aim and what they're doing. Come on. So we have a lot of people coming to the videos, expressing their concerns about fear mongering. Show me that. Show me that. Show me fear mongering. Here's people looking at two suns in the sky, and they're all filming it. Some is filming it from one way to the next way. There's one over there. There's one over there. And people is filming it from both directions. And then here's the thing. Laugh now, weep later. Laugh now, weep later. Why are these people filming this? Because it's something that we never saw. And as a matter of fact, it's three suns. 3 planets. And it may be a sun and planets reflecting off of the sun. Who knows? You're going to let science tell you that it's space dust. You're going to let science tell you that it's an aurora. It's a reflection when you can clearly visibly see a sun in there. What type of reflections does this? And when did the earth start reflecting itself? Anything to soothe the sinner, huh? Anything to soothe you so you can keep on being gay. You can keep on murdering and killing. You can keep on selling drugs and getting money by illegal means. Anything to soothe you. Don't you know that they're patting you on the head, pacifying you, showing you these shows, putting you under the spell, letting you listen to all this weird, freaky music to soothe you until you burn in the fire? It's the whole devil's aim. Coming to you like a friend and a sincere advisor, a confidant, so, hey, enjoy yourself. The government is not your friend. They saying it's all right to be gay. They saying it's all right to be transgender. They trying to do sex changes. It's all right to drink. It's all right to do drugs. We legalizing weed. And what's wrong is prayer in the school. Get that prayer out of the school, because that's wrong. He's seeing the sun rays going upwards towards the sky, as in if a light is shining from the bottom of the sun, reflecting the sun up like a flash. Do that worldwide. Imagine how big this item would have to be that they sent to space, and how much efforts. They haven't even reached the moon yet. Nuclear weapons don't even exist. Why don't you look it up? A lot of their big power crap is false. They have you to believe that is the Wizard of Oz, so that they can keep the people in check. If they was little cowering, old, scared characters, you would get out of hand on them. You would definitely get out of hand. For the people who don't even know what you're looking at, the sun don't shine like a flashlight. These are the signs of God, and most people drive right past this and ignore it. You ignoring the signs of God. And there is many, many, many more things. But, who could tell you anything? The average person is hard to talk to you. You know why? Because if we ain't talking about your vanities, if we ain't talking about your exterior things, most people, the believers, we're eternal, interior. We're with the Spirit of God. The disbelievers, you guys are exterior. What's your penis size? What's your breast size? What's your ass size? How much money do you have? Do you look good? Exterior things, worthless things to invest in, because each thing is worthless. So you're gonna go to God on the day of judgment and tell him how big your penis is? And how well you did with the ladies fornicating and committing adultery, doing shameful, abominable acts. You're going to go to God and tell him that? Does that matter? What matters when the earth is shaking? Somebody tell me what matters when the earth is shaking. Somebody tell me what matters when you're in severe pain. What matters when meteors are falling out of the sky? Please tell me what matters when you're seeing meteors fall. What matters when you're in 3 days of darkness? What matters if the government come and seize you and your family and put you in martial law camps, FEMA camps, concentration camps, death camps? Look at the moon. The moon doesn't do this. It doesn't do this. Look at the moon. The moon's going to disappear right in the sky. The moon doesn't do this. And they said, the government, they put reflectors up in space, and these reflectors, they cause, it's just fake. It's not real. These are optical illusions, and the moon's not real. Nothing's real to you fools. The government have no such power. You guys are idiots. Here's moon and another moon in the sky. What is it going to take for you guys to say, hey, these are the signs of God? This is not normal. You watch the average news and going to say, hey, people are spotting because too many people have spotted it in the news. Now we have to report about it and give you our lies. See, there's a dot in the sky right there. The military says they were testing a new weapon and stuff like that, and they didn't really mean for people to see this, but of course they tested the new weapon right over the city. and testing the weapon right over the city. We saw this, and most people saw this. Don't be frightened. Please don't be. Come on, it's the devil coaching you. Hey, go about your business. Keep fornicating. Keep being gay. Keep watching adult channels. Keep being sick. Some people think, you do your stuff in private, and God ain't watching you. Look, you can be sick in private. You can do your drugs in private. You can watch porno in private. You can eat wrongful food in private. You can do everything in private, and you're fine. You're not fine. You're going to hell. All idolaters, all of you, all whoremongers. Every whore is going to hell. You can't do no whoredom in private. All the fearful is going to hell. All the unbelievers, all the abominable people. That's the gay people. You're going to hell. God detests you. Away from me. You don't know me. And I don't care about money. I don't care about your ratings. I don't care if you liked or disliked. I don't care if you unsubscribed. I'm not even here for that. And you can see I don't care. Look what I'm saying. I'm not here to appease you idiots. I'm here to tell you what God told me to tell you, that His kingdom is coming. His will be done, not yours. On earth as it is in heaven. Look at the earth and compare it to the heaven. It's something wrong with the earth. There's something wrong. And soon will you know there's something wrong. Because just like I said, we're seeing things that we have never saw before, that we can't explain. This going across the sky and all this, the moon, planes, everything else, you're seeing things you never saw before, ever. And we living in those days. The fish is dropping dead. They're floating up. You know why? And I tell you why. Iron oxide, fools. And it's coming from that planet. And it is. Wormwood, whatever you want to call it. The Gentile destroyer. You know how many people have dreams about these two moons that's in the sky? It was like the other day, a bald eagle just dropped dead out of the sky. For real, and that's no lie. That's a sign of America's fall to me. It was just right there on the road. It was a nice, beautiful bird that looked healthy as hell, dropped dead right out of the sky. People are seeing birds drop dead out of the sky. Cows just fall over. 70,000 deer and antelope die at a time. What is this? Somebody tell me this. You can't even explain these things no more. You're seeing these magnificent things that God is showing you. These are the signs of God. What are the signs of God? The signs of God are indicators, fool. Indicators. They don't have to be absolutes. The sinners always look for absolutes. These are indicators pointing to a certain thing. That is a sign. A sign can be an indicator, and a sign can be an absolute. Quit looking for the absolute. Just because you don't see it, it don't mean that it don't exist. Like I said, is it a worldwide conspiracy? Did we all come together just to put this frightened little old stupid you? Do we even know you? Do we even know you're going to be frightened? We put these videos together to make asses out of ourselves. That's what we did. And I'm going to tell you something. Other people say, don't curse, don't do this, because you have this kind of lamb image, and it's a false image. It's a false image, Chris. It is Satan worship. What does it say about the English language? It's purposely is a backwards language to hate and defy God. It is. And you think find me somewhere where it says don't use profanity, because God don't approve of the word F, and He don't approve of the word ass, or He don't approve of the word. Quit putting words in God's mouth that ain't there. Who said He don't approve of any words? Is to use whatever it takes to turn your people back to the light, out of the darkness. Whatever it takes to get the people to wake up I'm sorry, but you can't talk to people normally today. People don't respect nice, and you know it. You know, you can't be like, Heidi Helga, Christian. Hi, I'm here to tell you about Jesus Christ. Nobody want to hear that. It's almost like, F you, stand up. What are you doing with your stupid freaking life, you freaking moron? You know, you got to really get in people's, hey, you got to shake people. You got to wake them up. You ain't going to wake up somebody like, wake up, wake up, wake up. Oh, please, wake up. For God's sake, wake up. You're not. You got to scare the holy crap out of somebody to wake them up today. And then when the holy crap is scared out of them good and thorough, then they might get up and do something about their pathetic life. You know, they overtaken life by demons. God said in Deuteronomy 28 that the demon becomes the head and you becomes the tail. It will lend to you and you will not lend to it. And all it's going to lend to you is evil. You know, the whole world is legend. The whole world is Nephilim right now. You're not even talking to humans anymore. Everybody I meet, I consider you a Nephilim. And until it's like the Bible said, you prove, you discern that this spirit is from God. The spirit from God is going to speak God's words. The spirit of the Nephilim is going to speak about the world. What is the world? The outer things. The exterior. Does his teeth look nice? Is he muscular? Is he this? Is he that? Is he gay? Is he straight? That's what the world is. How much money does he make? Is he popular? Does he got a record deal? Is he on TV? You know, is he a doctor? Like, these things matter in the kingdom of God. You know, was Jesus a doctor? Was he? You know, he went to a job every day? Or was his job preaching to the lost sheep of Israel to get them back on the straight path? No, that was his job, back on the straight path. And I ain't forgetting about what I just said. I said most people that you talk to are demons. When God said that in Deuteronomy 28 that the evil one inside of you was going to consume you and overtake you, it did. And it speaks. And you say, oh, this person changed. They used to be a good person. No, that person, the demon is speaking for that person. And the person is unaware that the demon is speaking and suggesting these evil things to you 24/7. Go be sexual. Go smoke some weed. Go do drugs. Go do this. And most people you talk to is you talking to demons. You rarely are talking to humans anymore. It is the time of Noah, and you are talking to straight up demons. The police are demons. Come on, psychotic. Look how they're killing people. The demon completely take over, and these ignorant fools that shoot, they don't care about human life. They're killing kids. They kill. Look at the people that's is killing, and you know they putting. Look up HEK, HEK 293. You know, look that up. They're putting human fetuses in the food at McDonald's and everything else. These people are demons and demonic. They putting blood in the water supply. You know, poisons all in your food. This is the society that you living in, you know, and this is what you get, because God said He's going to make you eat your babies. He did, as a punishment, and you are eating your babies without even knowing it. HEK 293, look it up. What is it? It's a fetus additive that they use as a flavonoid in McDonald's to make the food taste better. Human being babies, you're killing babies to make your food taste better? You know, why the Jew is calling you goyim, and they're the ones who promoting that. They want you to eat your own babies, you know, and read the book about type it in Bible and eating of your own children. Type it in and you'll find it, and it's a curse on the people, and all these curses that come upon you, and you people are so used to curses that you made a way out of life out of curses and misery. You know, when you have to go to the doctor, when you in pain, when you got problems, when bad things has happened to you, it's because you damn curse. And good and damn curse. Because when you bless all these things that come upon you in Deuteronomy 28, all these blessings that come upon you and overtake you, and everything that your hands touch is going to be blessed. When you touch your marriage, you cursed it. It went downhill. When you touch the woman, you cursed her. It went downhill. The man, you cursed him. It went downhill. Your children ain't acting right. They curse. They cursing you out. You know, the police, the cursed cops is pulling you over and giving you $900 tickets. Come on, and you broke. They stealing from the poor. Come on, look at this wicked country. We reached the pinnacle. We're at the end, and you people are done. And as in the days of Noah, you're gonna keep marrying, you're gonna keep partying, you're gonna keep doing drugs, you're gonna keep fornicating. Y'all gay, you know, a bunch of devils, you know, that took over. The Nephilim then took over. The jinn demon seed then took over. Yeah, the jinn demon seed. Either you the seed of God or you the seed of Satan. And that's the truth. It's two species here on earth. The seed of God and the seed of Satan. The seed of God had the spirit of God on them. The seed of Satan missed that. And so they won with the world. They won with Satan's plan and order. And most people are the seed of Satan. They are the Nephilim. They are the Nephilim. Really look it up and read and research. You know, wrap the news. Tell me what y'all think. Peace.
Scientists have just published the first results from NASA's Juno spacecraft, which reached Jupiter in July of 2016. Juno made its first close pass of Jupiter 1 month later, and two NASA papers that were released today detail findings from the mission so far. The first close-up observations from NASA's Juno spacecraft have captured towering clouds, swirling cyclones, and beautiful flows of ammonia that drive giant weather systems on the largest planet in the solar system. When Juno flew above the clouds, it saw what NASA described as a chaotic scene, according to the first paper's authors. Time-lapse images show oval-shaped features, which are cyclones, some as large as 1,400 kilometers across. And thermal data also showed that there may be an ammonia-based weather system in Jupiter's atmosphere. They look like Jupiter's version of the northern lights here on Earth. Fran Bagenel, of NASA said, "We were all jumping up and down with excitement when the images came down. You've got to be patient, but the rewards are fantastic." Before it got up close and personal with the planet back in June of last year, Juno entered Jupiter's magnetosphere, the region where the gas giant's magnetic field dominates over the Sun's magnetic influence. Close to the planet, Juno discovered that Jupiter's gravity is 10 times greater than Earth's magnetic field, and higher than scientists expected it to be. NASA also released this recording of plasma sounds at Jupiter. Take a listen. Juno reached Jupiter after a 5-year, 1.7 billion-mile journey. It will complete 36 flybys in total, and the mission will end in February 2018.
NASA released this breathtaking video of the Sun yesterday. It shows a large prominence and a small prominence beginning to shift, turn, and fall apart. NASA said in their post that prominences are notoriously unstable. Competing magnetic forces pulled the plasma back and forth until they dissipated. This all happened at the edge of the Sun in less than 1 day on May the 8th through the 9th. Simply amazing that humans can now hear the sound of a planet that we can barely see in the night sky. We here, out of sound, mind and body, only wish humans can achieve far greater things in the next few decades, so we can all see more of the wonders this universe holds.
Liftoff of the Cassini spacecraft on a billion-mile trek to Saturn.
Since its launch over 19 years ago, the Cassini space probe has sent breathtaking images back to Earth, of Jupiter, Saturn, and their moons. Now, nearing the end of its mission, Cassini has shown us this view of its first dive between Saturn and its rings. A view we have never before seen here on Earth. Cassini will do several more of these dives over the next few months, before entering Saturn, burning up, and saying goodbye forever. When imaged at infrared, wavelengths that pierce Saturn's upper haze layer. The high-speed winds of the planet's atmosphere produce watercolor-like patterns. With no solid surface creating atmospheric drag, winds on Saturn can reach speeds of more than 1,100 miles per hour, some of the fastest in the solar system. This view was taken from a vantage point of about 28 degrees above Saturn's equator. The image was released on April 17, 2017. And taken with the Cassini spacecraft's wide-angle camera, on December 2, 2016. NASA's Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter captured this region of Mars, sprayed with secondary craters. Secondary craters form from rocks ejected at high speed from the primary crater, which then impact the ground, also at sufficiently high speeds, to make huge numbers of much smaller craters over a large region. In this scene, however, the secondary crater ejector has an unusual raised relief appearance. How did that happen? One idea is that the region was covered with a layer of fine-grained materials, like dust or pyroclastics, about 1 to 2 meters thick, when the Zunile impact occurred about 1 million years ago, and the ejector served to harden, or otherwise protect the fine-grained layer from later erosion by the wind. This image, also taken by the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter, shows the location with the most impressive known gully activity in Mars's northern hemisphere. Gullies are active in the winter due to carbon dioxide frost, but northern winters are shorter and warmer than southern winters, so there is less frost and less gully activity. This enhanced color image of Jupiter, taken by the Juno spacecraft, showcases several interesting features on the apparent edge of the planet. Prior to Juno's fifth flyby over Jupiter's mysterious cloud tops, members of the public voted on which targets Juno should Juno's images of Jupiter sometimes appear to have an odd shape. This is because the Juno spacecraft is so close to Jupiter that it cannot capture the entire illuminated area in one image, causing the sides to get cut off.
Tyler here with Secure Team. Some very interesting news today. The mysterious so-called Magic Island on Saturn's moon Titan has disappeared in the latest Cassini images. Now, if you've never heard of Titan before, Titan is a very mysterious, awesome moon of Saturn. It's actually the largest moon of Saturn. And it is the only natural satellite known to have a dense atmosphere like Earth, and the only object other than Earth where there's clear evidence of stable bodies of surface liquid that have been found. The atmosphere is so dense, in fact, that you could actually fly on the surface of Titan with a pair of homemade wings, believe it or not. And this is because of Titan's thick atmosphere, low gravity, less than our moon in fact, and reasonable surface pressure, at about 50% of Earth's. So that by flapping a pair of wings strapped to your arms, you could fly in the skies with no more effort than walking. It's also, as I said before, the only other world with liquid that we know of. Aside from Earth, Titan has massive amounts of methane lakes on its surface, which is actually what this video is about. And these lakes and rivers are composed of liquid hydrocarbons, including Ontario Lacus, which is a lake 240 kilometers long in Titan's southern hemisphere. And Titan also has a climate system very similar to Earth. The liquids on Titan undergo a similar cycle to water here on Earth. Liquid methane evaporates from the surface, forming extremely thick clouds in the skies, which gives the entire moon this beautiful yellow haze, before eventually raining down and replenishing these massive lakes and rivers on the ground. Another fun fact is obviously that we've landed on it, and we will again. the Saturn orbiting spacecraft Cassini carried with it the Huygens probe, which landed on Titan on January 14, 2005, and there are proposals being discussed for another landing, this time possibly using a boat. So basically, Saturn's moon Titan continues to be one of the most fascinating alien worlds in the solar system. Alongside its Earth-like weather system and possible underground ocean, it is the only place other than Earth known to have these large bodies of liquid on the surface. And in one of its seas, a mysterious feature is puzzling scientists. Now, this feature, dubbed the Magic Island, was spotted in images from 2013 and 2014 taken by the Cassini spacecraft. It appears near the coast of Titan's second largest body of liquid, Ligeia Mare, and measures about 260 square kilometers in size, roughly the size of Washington, D.C. The lake itself is 130,000 square kilometers wide. But mysteriously, this so-called Magic Island is not present in radar images taken in 2007, nor most recently on January 11, 2015, in an image released by NASA yesterday. Now, this suggests that Titan's oceans, composed of liquid hydrocarbons such as methane, are very active, which is something we weren't sure about in the past. NASA is quoted as saying, "Now we have confirmation that these seas are not stagnant ponds just sitting there, but there is activity in them. And perhaps most baffling of all, though, is that we don't know what is causing the feature. The predominant theory at the moment is that it is waves moving slowly on the surface of Titan. In other theories, the feature could be a result of bubbles rising up from the depths. It could also be some sort of liquid material dislodged from the bottom of the sea, temporarily rising up before sinking down again." The waves theory is supported by the fact that the moon's northern hemisphere, where the sea is located, is entering its summer, with Titan's year lasting 30 Earth years. Winds are expected to pick up during the summer, possibly giving rise to waves like this. Now, if you remember, last year, Cassini actually took pictures of these waves that were spotted on Titan's seas, in this image here, where you can actually see the sunlight glinting off of the waves in the water and the liquid below. And I gotta say, it is simply awesome that a moon like this, which is out near Saturn, one of Saturn's moons, out in one of the coldest areas of space, so far away from the sun, that it could still maintain these large liquid lakes with islands and mountain ranges. And here are some of those images that Cassini took when we landed on Titan, showing this beautiful mountainous terrain as the probe slowly landed down to the surface using a parachute. So we have these large mountains, we have rocks, we have these lakes, we have these large seas, and Titan is also said to be one of the best candidates for alien life that we know of in our solar system. That next to Europa, which is a moon of Jupiter, which has a large ocean a few miles underneath its icy surface. However, Titan is an anomaly, and it's very much like Earth. So much, in fact, that if you've seen the movie Oblivion with Tom Cruise, which basically takes place after an alien invasion has happened and the Earth has been destroyed, the rest of the survivors are supposedly now living on Titan. Which, once again, if you remember what I talked about in our early video, how Hollywood sort of drip feeds these little pieces of information that may be true. And aside from what NASA tells us, for all we know, Titan may very well be able to sustain life, human life, if not at least alien life on its surface. There's no doubt in my mind. And here we have another spectacular view of sunlight glinting off of Titan's seas here through this thick, methane-filled haze that surrounds the moon. And by the way, Titan is actually bigger than Mercury and is over 8,000 kilometers wide, or 5,000 miles, and is significantly more massive than all of Saturn's other 61 moons combined. Now, we have also reported in the past about some very anomalous surface features on Titan, because many people out there that I've spoken to about Titan believe that there are bases on Titan. There has been a lot of alien activity around Saturn. There have been these large ships seen in Saturn's rings, ships that look to be almost creating some of these rings that are around Saturn. And an amazing book that I will direct you to for more information on these large ships that were captured in orbiter images showing these massive cigar-shaped crafts around Saturn is what is known as the ring makers of Saturn. And you can Google that. I'm sure there's videos about it here on YouTube showing the images and speaking about it. It's an amazing read. And speaking of a possible alien presence that is already on Titan, or at least using Titan as a jump-off point, come from these images here that were taken by Cassini and seem to be depicting, along the rough terrain, these squarish, circlish type buildings that look like bases of some sort. They definitely look like structures, and they definitely stand out from the rest of the terrain. So if I had to guess, in our solar system, where are the most likely places for aliens to inhabit? I would say A, our moon. Well, firstly, I guess Earth. You could say Earth is number one. There have been a lot of stories and theories about underground bases, including stories from former military individuals. The second would be our moon. Now, if you follow our channel, you know that we are no strangers to finding, analyzing, and documenting anomalous activity happening on our moon. And the third would be Titan, because it is the closest body in our solar system that is like Earth. It has an atmosphere, it has liquid lakes and oceans, and although it may not be the perfect candidate for humans to live, it may very well be perfect for another race of beings out there. So basically, it's a very, very interesting body. We know that these oceans and lakes are now active, and we are slowly learning more and more about our mysterious neighbor and moon of Saturn. And if you're into ufology, I definitely think that you should educate yourself about these amazing moons and planets in our solar system, such as Titan, Europa, and Phobos, among others. So definitely interesting times. We will be going over any new NASA images of Titan in the future, so be sure to share, like, and subscribe on your way out, and we've got some more videos coming on the way. So stick around and stay safe.